still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer.
You're seen all over this nation, all cities and all parts of the country, indeed across the world, an outpouring of joy, of hope, renewed faith in tomorrow. Bring a better day.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
You have to really recognize I'm doing something this country has never really been done before. It's a question of inculcation, reorientation, and education. Never before in this country, ever since the inception of the Republic, have you had a woman seriously running for the presidency. I'm not talking about someone nominating someone at the convention as a mere gesture of symbolism and tokenism. I'm talking about someone that has been going out in the highways and byways for the past 7.5 months.
I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people.
With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. When we let it rain from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Behind us, we can look back and see the great expanse of American achievement. And before us, we can see even greater, grander frontiers of possibility. We should, all of us, be filled with gratitude and humility for our present progress and prosperity. We should be filled with awe and joy at what lies over the horizon. And we should be filled with absolute determination to make the most of it.
Let us remember that a fight means no person left behind. So when people want to stop talking about the issues that black women face, when people want to stop talking about the issues that trans women or immigrant women face, we got to ask them, why does that make you so uncomfortable? This is the time when we're going to address poverty. This is the time we're going to address Flint. This is the time we're going to talk about Baltimore and the Bronx and wildfires and Puerto Rico. Because this is not just about identity. This is about justice. And this is about the America that we are going to bring into this world. Thank you all very, very much.
My dear friends, your vote is precious, almost sacred. It is the most powerful non-violent tool we have to create a more perfect union. Too many people struggled, suffered, and died to make it possible for every American to exercise their right to vote.
You want to wipe out all the bans and state-imposed prohibitions on abortion?
Yes, the position of the caucus is one against government intervention in the reproductive freedom of the individual citizen. That affects men as well as women. It means birth control as well as abortion. It also means the enforced sterilization laws, which exist in many states in this country. It's clear from the opinions in other industrialized countries and also from the opinions here, that is not the wish of the average citizen, male and female, is not to have government intervention in that most private area of personal freedom.
Your indifference costs these men and women their most valuable commodity, time.
This should be flipped. This hearing should be flipped. They responded in 5 seconds. They did their jobs. Courage, grace, tenacity, humility. 18 years later, do yours.
It is our fundamental belief in the power of hope that has allowed us to rise above the voices of doubt and division, of anger and fear that we have faced in our own lives and in the life of this country. Our hope that if we work hard enough and believe in ourselves, then we can be whatever we dream, regardless of the limitations that others may place on us. The hope that when people see us for who we truly are, maybe, just maybe, they too will be inspired to rise to their best possible selves.
Folks, and they brought us whole binders full of women.
Goat's milk latte drinking.
There you go again.
If the senator were not too much of a coward to debate in public, then that's what I'd ask him. Please clap.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad-built, butch body.
A what now?
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
Issues with Russia as Putin rears his head and comes into the airspace of the United States of America. We're not going to see this.
That's a banana republic without the banana.
Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
When they go low, we kick.
I believe these words came from the Pokemon movie.
Who am I? Why am I here?
Are you a racist?
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding-dong.
Turn it off. This is my city. When I say off, I mean off.
He's a jackass.
How we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Everyone that knows me, they know one thing. I hate rats.
I do not like broccoli.
I don't snort cocaine. Like, it's not my thing.
Well, I'm not a crook.
I grew up castrating hogs.
4 glorious years, I guess.
Well, Neil, you told me. All right, let's not do it. I don't want to get nailed. I just want to say hi, Bert. Yeah, good.
We're not going to vote to confirm a ham sandwich.
Ooh, don't do it.
I like beer. Still like beer.
20-foot impressive seahorse. He's ready.
It may be funny to you, motherfucker, but it's not funny to me, okay?
The reason that she knows why we're going to win.
Brett, it's too damn hot.
What do you say icon again?
Icon.
You can't. When you were so on.
People always say I have the ability to turn people on.
Sashay down there and vote for this amendment are officially weird.
I love good news. Love good news. I just love good news.
YouTube! We did it! Hi! Why is it so dark? Oh, it's because the other light isn't on. Ha, 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 ha. Let's put it on. Hi, how's everyone doing? I am so hyped. I am so hyped. We fucking did it, baby. Kamala Harris destroyed him. Woo! Man, I was feeling, I don't know about you, I was tweeting in all caps last night. I just could not contain myself. She did the thing and more. She did the thing and more. You saw that, you might not have seen that clip, but she predicted this 4 years ago. She clicked this 4 years ago. So I am feeling hyped up. I'm excited to share this moment with all of you. If you're watching on the replay, thanks so much for being here. We are going to have an interview with someone who is going to give us some action items and how we can help Kamala Harris when she wins the White House. So stay tuned for that. That'll be in about 20 minutes. And if you are watching the replay, please hit like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to the live people on the live stream. If you are here with me right now, give me a blue heart in the chat. Like the live stream if you haven't liked it already. Is the best thing you can do to get it in front of more people, because we've got a really important message to spread to the country. And I'm a big believer in things start small and they can grow very big. So there might be 600 people here now. In a year, it might be 6,000, and that's a lot of fucking people. So we are beginning something important and exciting. So thank you all for being here. And I am just ecstatic. I am ecstatic at Kamala Harris's performance. And there are so many moments from last night that I actually can't even pinpoint my favorite one. I think she crushed him on the abortion response. I think she nailed him on the January 6th stuff. I think that was, could I say this? I think it might have been my favorite answer. It might have been my favorite moment. White Noise is a member for 1 month. Thank you, White Noise. Wow, wow. That's the first person to do a repeat. Awesome. Awesome, White Noise. All right. Okay, so I have some stuff for us to watch. Here is a live reaction to what happened to the debate. I'm just going to show you. We'll just watch it. Okay.
Get this. No, get this. And the president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders. And this former president
You know she wanted to say this motherfucker or this bitch. That was her being like, no, Kamala, Kamala.
Invite and receive respected world leaders. And this former president
yes. God, she fucking crushed. She crushed. And MAGA doesn't know how to handle it. I don't know. Have you all seen RFK Jr. saying that Kamala Harris won the debate? RFK Jr. is a Trump surrogate. And he said that Kamala Harris won the debate.
I think that Vice President Harris clearly won the debate in terms of her delivery, her polish, her organization, and her preparation. I think on substance,
like what? What are you doing? You can't say that. He is absolutely getting thrown out of MAGA. I guarantee whatever he thought he was doing in endorsing Trump has been thrown out the window now, because you do not do that during MAGA. He did not let up there. There is more.
But he got distracted, and I think it's unfair.
Oh, Wilbro61. Let's get Wilbro61 a clap in the chat. Thank you, Wilbro61, for the $5. Thank you for your support.
Fortunate because he, I think he really had an airtight argument for his presidency, but he was not able to make that case to the.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then what else? Oh, and then he literally was asked, do you regret endorsing Donald Trump?
But just to be clear then, Robert, you are not changing your mind or fearing that you hooked up with the wrong horse here, that you're still supporting him to take the White House.
No, on the issues that I consider important. I mean, look, I was listening to the substance, and on the substance, President.
What substance? What substance? Cats? Dogs? I know for RFK Jr., that probably resonated. But for everyone else, I don't think there is much substance at all, to be quite honest. All right. Kamala HQ put this out. And then I want to talk about what I guess is like a controversial video I did. Everyone's a little like, Keith, I can't believe you said that.
What I can tell you is Donald Trump has been preparing for this his entire life. He always is prepared, and he's ready to take Kamala Harris head on that stage.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
President Trump is well prepared for the debate tomorrow night. That is right. He doesn't need traditional debate prep.
You have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say
sarcastically.
That.
You know that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically.
It's imagine like a boxer trying to prepare for Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Oh my gosh. There is 1,015 people in the live stream. I want to say hello to everyone. Let's if you've been here before, let's show these new people how you engage in the live stream. Everyone type clap, and let's show them the awesomeness that can happen above me. Everyone type clap, and let's show these new folks how we engage with the community on this live stream. Awesome. That's right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, try to hit subscribe. If you don't want to hit subscribe, hit like. It costs you nothing, and it helps me. Thanks so much. All right, in 10 minutes, we are doing an interview. Very excited about that. Here is J.D. Vance was asked about the cat and dog question. And here's what he had to say. Oh my gosh, we got gifted memberships in the house. White Noise gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, White Noise. Thank you so much.
Competence of Kamala Harris.
Senator Vance, what do you say to Haitian Americans and Haitian immigrants who say spreading false claims about them put their lives at risk?
Well, I don't think that no one has spread false claims. What they've said is that a small migrant community, 20,000, so it's big for the city of Springfield, but it's small compared to all Haitians in the United States of America, that small migrant community has caused a lot of problems. It's led to higher rates of communicable diseases. That's a verifiable fact. It's led to animals disappearing.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
Many of my constituents have said that has been happening. It's led to higher home prices. That is a verifiable fact. So this influx has led to a lot of
But you said that immigrants have eaten animals, and city officials have said that that's not true.
City officials have said that's not true. That's not actually accurate. What they've said.
Springfield city manager said there's no evidence that immigrants are eating animals, and you have been saying, and Donald Trump just said on stage that they are eating animals. I'm asking you.
Yes, I'm asking you.
I'm asking you. What?
Can you answer
Go
the
ahead.
question? Can you ask the question and then let me answer it?
Yes,
The
please.
city manager said there's no verifiable evidence.
They are not. Also, he's cute. Can I say that? It's my live stream. He's kind of cute. Who is that? He's on the wrong side of history. We need to reform him. We need to reform him. Save him.
A lot of residents on the ground have said that there is. That just means the city manager, I think, isn't fully in touch with what's going on the ground there. I've heard from many of my own constituents who have seen these things with their own eyes, who have seen these abductions with their own eyes, who have seen geese being taken out of local parks and slaughtered in front of their eyes. What do I think is a bigger problem? Insulting 20,000 people, or the fact that my constituents can't live a good life because Kamala Harris opened the border? I think it's Kamala Harris needs to do her job.
A lot of these Haitian
and make
immigrants
people
have
happier
moved
and healthier in this country.
A lot of Haitian.
What? He is so full of it. He is so full of it. He is full of it. All right, here is. I hate him. I mean, I don't hate him. Hate's a strong word. I strongly despise him. Oh my gosh. Scott, thank you so much for the $10. We appreciate you. Let's get some claps in the chat for Scott. Thank you so much for your $10. Thank you so much. All right. So let's talk about, I'm going to talk about it now. All right. So I put out a video. Earlier today, and I said, I'll show you what I said. Is it going to be a little like meta for me to watch myself? I don't know. We've never done that before, but let's try it. I put out a video earlier, and people are saying that I did not know that I was misrepresenting what Donald Trump was saying. And I don't think I was.
I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care.
Dave W9, thank you so much for the $50. Holy cow. Thank you so much. And he says, are you telling me Trump didn't use the weave during the debate? I mean, good of him to brand being just like having dementia.
I don't care what she is. I don't care.
Let's get some claps in the chat for Dave. Thank you so much, Dave.
Make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and
that she put out.
I'll say that, and then.
So here's why I know that he meant that as a sexual innuendo, because he says the way he goes, I'll say that. He's never said it before. He's never said it before. People are saying he's talking about that she put out that she became black. That's not what he was saying. That was a sexual innuendo.
I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that, and then.
That was sexual innuendo. I completely respect your right to be wrong. I completely respect your right to be wrong. But that she's black, new idea that she put out, I'll say that. Disgusting. But I stand by it. I wouldn't have said it if not for his I'll say that. That to me, I knew that he thought he was saying something. Oh, Scott, thank you so much for the $50. Thank you so much for the $50, Scott. All right, let's watch this. We haven't done roll call. Let's do roll call. Roll call. Where is everyone watching from? I'm in Washington, D.C. Florida. We got Florida in the house. We got Texas. We got Oregon, California, Canada, Colorado, New Jersey, Austin, Detroit, Michigan, Guatemala, baby. I see some British flags. Naples, Florida, Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, New York City, Texas, Nevada, Canada, Detroit, Guatemala, Seattle, Bay Area, California, West Palm, Ohio, Montana, Mississippi, The Philippines, Maine, Pennsylvania, Earth. Okay, really funny. Missouri, New Zealand, Memphis, Tennessee, Atlanta, Ireland, Canada. Jacksonville, Florida. We got Paraguay, London. Van life everywhere. I love that. Mexico, Virginia, Arizona. All right, everyone. We are mission driven. We are a community of democracy-loving individuals who are mission-focused on, in the next 52, 53, 54 days, to make Kamala Harris the next president of the United States of America. And I am so grateful to be sharing this moment with you. I'm so grateful to be sharing history with you, because that is what we are doing. We are creating history. Kamala Harris did the thing last night. She gave us the ball. Now we got to run with it. She could not have done a better job. I'm sorry. She couldn't have done a better job. There was like zero, like even the Republicans, I always say Ken Jennings. It's not the guy from Jeopardy. Scott Jennings on CNN last night was even like, I don't have to tell you, she did a good job. Donald Trump kind of blew it. So it is super important. Oh my gosh. Texas Diva with the $50. Thank you so much. Let's get some claps in the chat for Texas Diva. I'm going to assume that Texas Diva lives in Texas, and I just want to say I am so grateful for blue dots and purple states, and Texas is a purple state. Georgia was a red state until it wasn't, and so it is so important that we have blue warriors in reddish purple states who are democracy defenders, because it is people like you who are going to make sure that Texas eventually flips blue. So thank you for living there. Thank you for standing up for what's right. And thanks for joining us here tonight. We love Texas. Texas is going to flip one day. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Man, I am hyped up. I don't know about you, but like last night, I'm telling you, last night when I was watching, I was like beside myself. I was beside myself. I think it's just like because we've never seen someone actually land a punch like she did. And not that she didn't land one, she just kept going. Figuratively speaking, but she just kept swinging. And she kept swinging. And I felt, and you know what? I said, I've been tweeting this. I don't know if it makes sense, but I'll say it here because maybe I can better explain myself. It felt like, because the last CNN debate, there were no moderators. It felt like we were actually, like the fact checking was like America, democracy, and the truth finally standing up for itself after it had been assaulted by this man for more than 8 years. And it felt like whatever superpower he had was no longer working. It was no longer working. So I could not have been more over the moon with how she did that. This is probably my favorite part. I'm going to play this for you right now. Oops.
Clear about that, and clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace.
Oh, whoops.
And when you then...
Sorry. That was because of the music. Let's listen again.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that, and clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did, in fact, lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact.
I love that statement. I love that statement. All right. We have our guest on. All right. I'm going to connect real fast. 1 second. And I'm going to connect right now. I'm going to connect right now. I'm going to connect right now. Oops. That's not that. Okay. 1 second, everyone. Okay. Okay. Allow. Hey, can you hear me? One second. This is why I need a producer. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you though.
Okay, that's okay. We're gonna fix that. Sorry, everyone. Video. Okay. And then we're gonna do this. Okay. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. All right, I'm just gonna put you into the live stream.
Sweet.
Okay. That should work. There we go. Hi, everyone. Everyone say hello to Nick.
Hello, everyone. You have like a fan club name, like the Keith? I don't
think we have a fan club name. Let me see here. I just want to make sure I'm not. Okay. Can you say something real fast?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. Good. I got rid of the echo. Okay. So, all right. So, all right. Everyone is saying hello. We have about, let's see how many people are in here. We have 1,248 people on the live stream right now, Nick. So don't be nervous.
No, I wasn't. No, I don't know.
All right, Nick, real quick, introduce yourself. And before you do, I want to say, Nick, the reason why I want to have Nick on is because I met Nick. He lives in Washington, D.C. He is a Democrat. He is mission focused on defending democracy. And he has ideas about things we can do to help Kamala Harris. And I think it's super important that we don't just focus on the presidential race, that there are other races we got to pay attention to. And so, Nick, why don't you give a brief overview of what you do? And then we can go into some of the specifics.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Thanks for having me on, Keith. You know, big fan both of the content you put out, but also big fan of Keith generally. He's a great guy. So my name is Nick Richardson. I am the National Digital Director at the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. For those of you,
what is the Democratic National? Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the DCCC, or as we say, the D-TRIP for those in the know, we are like the DNC for the House of Representatives. My parents still think I work for the DNC. They think I work for Joe Biden directly. I do not. I work for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and we are the official committee for the House of for House Democrats. Our job is to elect and re-elect Democrats to the House of Representatives. Our job is to make Hakeem Jeffries the next Speaker of the House, first Black Speaker of the House. And our job is to support members once they get into the House of Representatives. And so we have a whole team fully built out to focusing on those swing races that are going to be decided by less than 1,000 votes. Our job is to fully surround and wrap our arms around those campaigns and make sure they have everything they need to do to get across the finish line.
Got it. Carta says in the chat that it is so important that we take the House. And I agree. Can you explain why that's important? I think we all know that. We all know that intellectually. It's important that we have the House, but Kamala Harris cannot deliver on anything when she wins if we don't have the House, right?
There's two absolutely essential, key, very important reasons that we all know subconsciously. Like, we all know why the House is important, but I don't think we talk about it enough. The first is that, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on because we're riding the optimism, we're riding the joy train. God forbid Donald Trump wins election. The House is our best shot at holding him accountable. Our House is the best way to make sure that he doesn't enact his Project 2025 agenda. His House is the best way to make sure that we are investigating any crimes and misdemeanors that he will probably and almost inevitably do if he were to ever sit in the Oval Office again. The House is our check on Trump. But we're going to move right past that because we're riding the optimism wave, and I truly do not believe he's going to win re-election, especially after last night. The reverse of that is that the House is where it is the breeding ground for all sorts of Republican extremism. It is where the Freedom Caucus is. It's where the Tea Party, was. It's where Project 2025 really originates out of some of these members of the House. And if you think that Kamala Harris is going to be able to enact and build her opportunity economy, if you think we're going to be able to protect women's rights to choose, like without a Democratic House of Representative, without Hakeem as the next Speaker of the House, like it's going to be really hard. It's going to be near impossible. And so with the Democratic House of Representatives, we're able to serve as a legislative partner to the White House and make sure that we do everything that she's setting out to do and that she's campaigning on. And we need to make sure that she has that partner down on Capitol Hill. So that way, we don't get log jammed and roadblocked in investigation after investigation by a Republican held committee into an Harris administration.
Got it. And so then how do we do that? How do the people on this live stream do that?
How do we do that? So I absolutely love grassroots support and the excitement of the online base because you will overnight, a candidate can catch fire online. You think about Mallory McMorrow in Michigan. You think about some of these candidates who go in and they deliver a speech and it just lights a fire in people. We have such a way to focus grassroots attention, thankfully through the internet, that we can flip these seats and we can make something come online overnight and make sure that Democrats can prevail. The reverse of that is we can get really excited about races that are maybe a little bit too far out of reach because we cannot stand.
You don't have to like, I think we can be a little bit more
right.
There are some races we just can't win, right?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz are embarrassment. They're an embarrassment to the country.
And we want to get rid of them. We want to get rid of them. But we can't. It's statistically impossible.
And they will raise their opponents. Democratic opponents, who I love. I support them. Their Democratic opponents will raise millions and millions of dollars from grassroots folks excited online because Marjorie Taylor Greene is a lightning rod for extremism. The good and bad news is there are 20 versions of Marjorie Taylor Greene in the House who people just don't know about. And so I think the big thing that we have to do as Democrats, and that, that's why I'm excited to come on and join you today, Keith, is to talk about who those people are and help elevate those batshit crazy Republicans, to be frank, and make sure people know that, hey, there's a guy in Pennsylvania, there's a guy in Arizona, there's a woman in Iowa who are all as crazy as Marjorie Taylor Greene, but they're actually more dangerous because they actually have some sway in what happens in Congress.
Wait. So you're telling me there are people who are just as bad as Marjorie Taylor Greene who don't get the press that we could actually beat?
Yes, 100%.
That's what you're saying.
100%. There are seats that we lost by a hair, less than 2,000.
Wait. That seems like a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal, and we don't talk about it. And it's nobody's fault that they get excited about the person running against Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz sucks. I would get excited about whoever's running against him, but we got to be smarter. And luckily, our grassroots is really smart. Like, we have a really engaged grassroots, and the Republicans don't have that. Like, they just give into fear and extremism. They're talking about dogs or whatever. Like they're just all over the place. Like, we can strategize and mobilize the grassroots in a way that they can't. And so I think if we can come around, what are those three candidates that are as extreme as Marjorie Taylor Greene, but the momentum's coming away from them, and with an insurgence of money, with an insurgence of grassroots support, with an insurgence of door knocks and phone calls and postcards, we can actually go and win those seats. So that's what I think we need to focus on. And I have my picks. I have my short list of who I think those three are. But we don't have to get to that just yet.
Got it. I'm being told that I can barely be heard, so I'm going to raise my volume, and hopefully that fixes it. Is that better, everyone? I apologize. That should be better. No? Yes. Okay, it's better. Dave W9 says he just donated $20. Thank you, Dave W9. He says 42 out of 100 senators endorsed Trump in this election. That makes it difficult for any Democrat to get a supermajority. 60 out of 100 senators. If Trump says no to it, it's how he killed the border bill. And my audio got fixed. So the national nightmare is over on the audio.
Yes. We're saying yes.
Okay, so I feel like, I don't know about you, like, so are you saying there's like, could we like maybe get 3 people who like are, and these are like people you model, right? I want to kind of get brought into the process. Like, how do we know these people are beatable?
Yeah, we can go inside baseball, and if that's okay.
Yeah, I think the chat would love some inside baseball on how we figure out who these candidates are.
Yeah. So I think the best way to talk about the candidates is to talk about the battlefield and why we're talking about those candidates. What's the framework that led us to these 3 candidates? Because you can turn on C-SPAN and listen to Republicans talk all day, and you'll find 30, 40, 50, 60 people who are as crazy as Marjorie Taylor Greene that you want to start donating to their opponent. But we have to take a step back for a sec and think about what's the framework for finding those Republicans that like we can go and beat these guys. Like it often is, guys, though there's their fair share of Republican congresswomen who are extreme in their own way. So what's that framework? And so I have a way for how I think about the battlefield. And there's 3 big things that make me excited to be us and would scare me if I were them.
Okay.
The first thing is you have to think about look at where the momentum is going and where the polling is going. I know everybody we love ragging on pollsters. We love criticizing pollsters. At the end of the day,
we love to do that. We love to do this on this live stream.
Right. No,
we hate pollsters.
There's a million reasons why the polling industry, why there are problems with the polling industry. At the same time, it's a tool, right? It's not a crystal ball into the future, but it's a tool for what the electorate is feeling at that given moment, plus or minus a margin of error, which nobody ever talks about the margin of error. So obviously we can look at where momentum is going and what is happening. If you look at Cook Political Report, which, sometimes they move races in a direction that I don't agree with. They just moved 6 races in our direction last week. They moved 2 Republican incumbents into the toss-up column. So
and these are congressional candidates.
These are congressional candidates. There's incumbent Republicans who are currently sitting in the halls of Congress, who Cook Political Report, the people who read the polls. They don't just read polls and make gut checks. Cook Political Report sits down with these candidates. They sit down with these campaigns. They go to the district. Like, they are actually wrapping their arms fully around a district to get an understanding of what is causing a district to maybe swing in the opposite direction. So they just moved 6 races in our direction. 2 of them were Republicans. They moved into a toss-up column. Like, if you are in the if you're in the majority right now, if you're a Republican, you are hanging on by 4 seats. If Democrats pick up 4 seats, we take back the majority. They just moved 6 in our direction.
That just made my heart go pitter-patter. Imagine if we had Kamala Harris, first female president of the United States, first black, first South Asian female of the United States, and Hakeem Jeffries, who would be the first black speaker.
That's exactly right. Which, again, we don't talk about enough. We don't talk about the House enough generally. We don't talk about Hakeem Jeffries enough. So I could go for days, and you're going to get me to go down a rabbit hole about Hakeem Jeffries and how much I love this guy, Leader Jeffries. But I'll get back to him because we got to talk about him. The second thing, as I think about this framework for how to pick out those Republicans, apart from the momentum, there's the money game. One thing we talk about this, and I think people are generally aware from this, Republicans have a culture of mega donors that totally bankrolls and funds the big Republican super PACs. The Congressional Leadership Fund and the NRCC are the big Republican organizations that bankroll these House races. They have a culture of mega donors. It's like 5 families. It's like the Uline family and the Adelsons and the DeVosses. Like, there's like 5 families who are dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into these organizations to go and have Republicans win these seats because they know that the Republicans will enact policies that will make sure their taxes stay low, right? It's like it's basically that simple, right? Some of them are extreme in their own way, but largely they're billionaires who don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to pay their fair share. Democrats, sure, we have some larger donors, but like
Did we lose him? Oh, I think we lost you for a second. Oh, we lost him.
And the House Majority PAC, our CLF counterpart. But raising them. Like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, I see I'm frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. When you look at the money game, we are outraising them. Like, the DCCC outraised the NRCC by $17 million. And the part where it really gets wonky is that if you look at the districts we need to go pick up, you have Republicans who are renting Biden seats. There are seats that Biden won in 2020. It's, it was 18 at one point, and now we've taken a couple back. And a lot of these Biden seats are in really expensive media markets like New York City and Los Angeles and Phoenix and everywhere else around the country. And if you are losing the money game and the seats you have to hold on are seats that are trending away from you and they're seats that went for Biden, and I'm pretty scared. I'm looking down the other end of a barrel and saying, I don't think I can come out of this thing. And that's what Republicans are up against right now. And so the momentum is swinging away from them. The polling, and not just the polling, but the energy on the ground is swinging away from them. That's confirmed by Cook Political Report. And the money's against them. And they have to defend these seats that they can't afford to defend. They took out a mortgage last cycle when they took back the House, and they cannot pay that mortgage. They cannot pay that. And so when you look at those things, you start to see, okay, here's a couple districts in these media markets. Here's a couple of these districts in these regions that are really attractive if you're an organization like ours who's trying to maximize our opportunities in our multiple pathways to the majority. There's not just one way to the majority. There's 5 different ways to the majority. And so that's kind of how we form this framework, and that's how we're going to make a King speaker.
Got it. And just for some people who have just signed on to the live stream, this is Nick Richardson from the DCCC, who's digital director. Is that the right title?
Yeah.
And he has unlocked through data and polling the 3 most flippable House seats. And he's going to reveal those to us right now. So if you want Kamala Harris to get a House majority so she can actually deliver on her opportunity economy, if you want Kamala Harris to have a working partner in Congress in Hakeem Jeffries and Leader Schumer, because we're going to keep the Senate, then this is what we can do. Kamala Harris is not going to lose because of lack of funding. I'm sorry, she's not. She's not going to lose, but if she were to lose in some bizarre universe, it would not be because she didn't have enough money. She has more money than God, okay? But what we can do is donate to House candidates who actually need the money. The money can make the difference. And if you can't donate, you can also volunteer. You can do phone banking. So let's get those names.
All right. So I'm really tempted to Ryan Seacrest you and say right after the break, but your audience is awesome, and so we'll go into those, and then I got some other cool stories I want to run by y'all.
Okay.
So, like I mentioned, there are districts for the moment.
And if you're watching this in the replay, and if you're watching the live stream, I'll put this in the description of the video, so you don't have to write it down. I mean, if you want to write it down, go ahead. But I will also put it in the description of the video with links to a way to help. Okay, sorry. Onward.
Yeah. No, onward. So, like I mentioned, I think there's 3 things to identify which districts we should put our money in as grassroots donors, small dollar donors. 1, momentum, we talked about. 2, the big picture money game, which we talked about. 3, the third most important thing is who is just batshit crazy? Who are these people? Who are these sensible, persuadable swing voters going to say, I'm ready to get this person out of there? There are swing seats currently held by far-right House Republicans, January 6th supporters who were there on January 6th, who helped plan January 6th. There are Christian nationalists, election deniers, anti-choice extremists, and they all won their seats by just a few points. And so if you take those 3 things together, the momentum, the money game, and just the extremity of some of these Republicans, there's actually a pretty obvious handful of districts that we should be donating to. The first one, and I'm gonna go baby. I'm gonna go through 3. There's I'm playing.
There could be more, but we're going to focus on 3 in this chat.
If folks don't know who Scott Perry is, Pennsylvania 10. Scott Perry is a sitting member of Congress.
Chat, does anyone know who Scott Perry is? Go ahead.
Scott Perry had his FBI, the FBI seized his phone for his efforts in rallying Trump supporters in advance of January 6th. Scott Perry is as close as it gets to an insurrectionist as it gets. He is under investigation by the FBI. We've known he said election denialism claims. We know where he stands on the sanctity of the vote. This guy is honestly more extreme than Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the worst part about it is that even since all this stuff is happening, you think he would lie down. You think he would say, okay, I'm in a swing seat. I need to play more to the median voter. He has been retweeting neo-Nazis on Twitter and elevating anti-Semitic conspiracy theories over the last 4 months. He's done it multiple times now.
Wow.
And so this is a guy who, Scott Perry in Pennsylvania 10, is a guy who the National Republicans don't want to support him. They have waited so long to lay down paid media dollars in his district. That's a good way to see if National Republicans like a guy is, are they committing $10 million to TV buy in his district?
And they're not doing it for him.
The cavalry is not coming for him. This guy is
so the money we give to him could make a huge difference because there's not big money going behind him in the way that normally there would be.
There's not big money going behind this guy.
So who do we put the money for?
Janelle Stelson is a former news anchor from the district who, on the day Roe v. Wade was overturned, had to give a newscast that afternoon and went and had to go tell the people of her district that their rights had been taken away. And so if you talk to her and you listen to her interviews, she will tell you that it has been the radicalism and the extremism of Republicans like Scott Perry that has propelled her to run for office. This is a woman who knows her district. She was a news anchor for decades. She has been telling the people of her district, staying in touch with them, staying in touch with the community. And she's got a real shot to kick out an insurrectionist and neo-Nazi sympathizer from Congress. And
I'm showing everyone her picture right now, just so you know. You're kind of over her.
There she is. Repeat his opponent again. Yeah, Janelle Stelson, Pennsylvania's 10th. So
Janelle Stelson, Pennsylvania 10. So there she is on the screen. She is in a flippable district against Scott Perry, who is an insurrectionist sympathizer, if not one himself, who is retweeting Nazis, and he doesn't have Republican money backing him. So he is 100%. He is 100% beatable. She is one of the keys to unlocking a Hakeem Jeffrey speakership and handing Kamala Harris a Congress who can actually get her agenda passed. Okay, next
up. So if Scott Perry didn't make you angry, I have another person that I think might rally the grassroots around. We're gonna head over to Iowa. Ever since the early Iowa lost its status as the first in the nation state, a lot of people have been claiming that Democrats are abandoning Iowa. It couldn't be further from the truth. I'm going to talk about one district, though. There's actually a really great district right next door as well. I saw someone drop it in the chat, but Lanon Baccam is running in Iowa's 3rd congressional district to unseat Republican.
How do you spell that? Lanon.
LANON BACCA.
Oh, there she is.
He is, yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Lanon is running in Iowa's 3rd congressional district against Zach Nunn. Lanon
Baccam in Iowa. What is district?
Iowa 3rd.
Iowa 3rd. Iowa 3.
Iowa 3. And
flippable race.
Right now,
flippable race.
Go look at Cook. Let's see what Cook has this one as right now. You think I would have them all memorized by now? Cook currently has this one as a lean Republican, which is one away from a toss-up. I would keep an eye on that over the next month or so. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing moves. Zach Nunn, his opponent, who's the Republican representative from Iowa, and Iowa's 3rd. Iowa just enacted a 6-week abortion ban. It is one of the strictest abortion bans, if not the strictest abortion ban in the country. And during a debate against his Republican primary challengers, the moderator asks, raise your hand if you would proudly say all abortion should be illegal without exceptions. And Zach Nunn raises his hand on video, on camera, at a town hall debate in front of the people of Iowa's 3rd congressional district, proudly raises his hand and says abortion should be illegal without any exceptions. This is a guy who's currently sitting in a district.
That's not Lanon. This is someone else.
Correct. Zach Nunn. Zach Nunn, the Republican.
Zach Nunn, you said?
Nunn. That just passed a 6-week abortion ban. And
that's this guy.
The people are all over. The people of Iowa's 3rd congressional districts are all over this. They are fired up about Lanon. Lanon is a first-generation American. He served his country. He came back, worked in public service. He's the nicest guy. He wants nothing but for Americans to succeed. And then you have someone like Zach Nunn, this guy on screen, who's raising his hands saying all abortion should be illegal without exception. And so as much as Trump wants to go on stage and say, no, we're never gonna get a national abortion ban, you have someone who's proudly advocating for that in Congress right now.
Oh, interesting. So, I mean, obviously Trump would do that if he could. This is Zach, everyone. This is the bad guy we got to defeat. Flippable race. And Lanon Baccam is the one who can do it. Baccam. Okay. Yes, hit the like button if you're liking this, everyone. We can get this in front of more folks. So hit the like button. It really does help. And it will help in the replay, too. All right. Number 3.
I'm going to give us an honorable mention before I move to my number 3. It's more of an honorable mention to Christina Bohannon running in Iowa's 1st congressional district because it's right next door. And people love thinking that Democrats have, we've lost the middle America. We've lost, I love when people say real Americans, right? Whatever that's supposed to mean. But it's not just Iowa's 3rd. Iowa's 1st is a standout congressional district. We have Christina Bohannon running to unseat Marionette Miller Meeks, who's an anti-choice extremist Republican. Look her up. She is. This is a race that we can win, but she needs every dollar she can get. So,
okay. Honorable mention, Christina Bohannon.
Iowa's 1st.
Iowa 1st, flippable district.
All right. Now we're going to go to the 3rd. This, I think, is my favorite extreme Republican because of how.
All right. We're talking about the Republican first. Give me the name.
Juan Ciscomani in Arizona 6.
How do you spell that?
Juan.
Mm-hmm.
Ciscomani. Cisco. Mani.
Got his ass in 4K. Here he is.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, let's get this guy on screen.
Arizona.
Here's the thing about this guy is he looks like he's very photogenic. And like he looks like he could smooth talk you and he can make you think he's a moderate. Do me a favor, Google Patriot Academy. Google Juan Ciscomani Patriot Academy.
Patriot Academy. Juan. Okay. I'm here.
Let's see what we get.
Is this it?
Oh, sorry. My
you have to tell me.
A little bit. Okay. Yeah. Let's click that first one. That's a good one. Who is Juan Ciscomani?
Oh, are you seeing my screen?
Yeah. Well, I got
word.
I got the live stream up on the other one.
So
smart. This is their official website, right? This is the Patriot Academy. The Patriot Academy is a Christian nationalist organization that it's a private quote unquote academy that is focused on rewriting the Constitution on biblical values.
Oh, hell no. Are you serious?
Yeah. Go back a link and go click that first link on Google. Because they really dive into it. When we talk about the threat of Christian nationalism in Project 2025, you have people who are masquerading as moderates who are sitting on the board of organizations like the Patriot Academy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Patriot Academy says
so they want. Yeah, I'm just going to read this first line. The Patriot Academy believes that the United States is on the brink of godless communism, and that the only way to save the country is to rewrite the Constitution to reestablish a Christian nation. This guy is on the board of it. What?
And he's just chilling in Congress.
And he's just a guy. He's just a guy.
He's just some guy.
Jesus.
And then you're supposed to believe that Republicans are these moderate, sensible, fiscally responsible. And it's like, this is what they want to do. This is what he does in his free time.
Wow.
This is like a hobby for him.
All right. How do we beat him, Nick? How do we beat him?
All right. He's running against an absolute knockout star of a candidate, Kirsten Engel, Kirsten. Not Kristen, but Kirsten Engel, Engel. This is an Arizona 6th congressional district. This is down in Tucson. Kirsten is a mom. She's an attorney. She's a state legislator. And she's
got a good website.
Great website. Less than 6,000 votes from beating Juan Ciscomani last time. I don't know how many views you get on these videos. I'm sure you get more than 6,000 views on your videos. Like,
this is probably like 30,000-ish.
Yeah. So if you could just get everyone who watches your videos to go move down to Tucson, I think we. But I mean, this is a dude Kirsten ran against him last cycle and lost by less than 6,000 votes. And this one wasn't necessarily on the battlefield, quote unquote battlefield. So this was a district last cycle that wasn't getting all the outside investment and bells and whistles. She just went down and rolled up her sleeves and white knuckled it and came within a hair. And so now this cycle, this is, front and center in the middle of the battlefield. Everyone's paying attention. Everyone's trying to support Kirsten, but there's no amount is too much, because we need to make sure she's able to communicate not just about herself, but about Wasis Kamani being on the board of the Patriot Academy, being a Christian nationalist and wanting to rewrite the Constitution.
And she's going to do it.
And she's going to
if people on this chat get involved. Because again, Kamala Harris will not lose because of lack of volunteers and lack of funding. But these three candidates we just showed you, you could be the difference, truly. And that's not even hyperbole. You could be the difference. And that's the difference between Mike Johnson, Speakership Part 2, or Hakeem Jeffries, historic candidate. Also, just a great guy, great leader.
A great guy. Just a great guy.
So I think we have to end it there, Nick. Is there anything else you want to leave the folks with?
I'll leave the folks with, to put an exclamation point on what you said. In my job, I work with these campaigns every day. I talk to the campaign managers. I help them build out their media plans and their media budgets. And they will say things like, look, Nick, we want to fund a $200,000 get out the vote effort, but we are dried up. But we have negative dollars right now. And, we'll get breaking news that, someone for running for statewide office or the Harris campaign is raising hundreds of millions of dollars, and that's amazing, and that shows the enthusiasm. But they're actually pretty small, and the amount of money it can take to help really turn one of these things online is a drop in the bucket compared to some of these larger races. And so I think if we can actually get the grassroots community excited about it, you are actually directly funding a get out the vote effort. You're funding a digital media spot. You're getting another spot up on YouTube, another spot on TV. You're helping fund another phone bank or paid campus shift. So these small races, these small dollar donations, go a long way compared to, I think, some of these other larger races, which they're doing great on fundraising front right now. That's not the fight they need to wage. So
if you can't donate, you can always phone bank. You can always volunteer.
You can always phone bank.
If you can't donate money, you can donate your time. It's just as valuable, if not more.
That's exactly right.
All right, chat, can we please get a round of applause for Nick for showing up here on weeknight to give us some really great information, because I am personally very grateful. Thank you for being here. This has been great. I just think that it's so important that we talk about these races that, that can really make the difference. It is really about these low information races, these races that people just don't know about, that are the difference between getting a lot done and fighting for every little piece. So thank you so much for coming on here, giving information. Please, as soon as you get off this live stream, DM me with links, because I want to update the description immediately.
Link, Keith, I created a link for you. So if you actually give me 5 seconds, I'm going to send you this link right now. It is fresh for your group chat. And it is an AxeBlue link /Keith Edwards. So if you want to donate to any of the races we talked about, we're going to have a special link just for you. And then we can track how much you guys are raising as a community, which is awesome.
Okay, let's do that. Great. Perfect.
Thanks for having me on. See you, man.
Ta-ta. Bye. That was fun. Did you all like that? I thought that was pretty cool. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Hey, here's Donald Trump realizing he got his ass kicked. That was good. You like that? I can do more of those. More? All right, we'll do more. I love we're going to get the link in just a moment. I have it now. I'm going to put it in the chat. And then I got a dinner date, not with a friend. There's the link. Can I pin it? How do I pin it? I must be able to pin it. Pin message. All right, so if you want to donate, you can donate there. Absolutely zero obligation. But you can also get more information about these folks and donate your time if you can't donate money. but you literally could be the difference between a House that Kamala Harris can work with or one she fights against. We could eventually add more candidates, but I wanted to start with 3. Yes, thank you so much to the mods for. I know we had some trolls pop up. That's a good point. Social media follows are free too. Thank you, Peter, for the 10 gifted memberships. You're very, very sweet. And thank you all for being here. This has been the most successful live stream yet. We had I think 1,300 people on at one point, and 900 right now. So it's awesome. Anthony's donating $100. Brandon gave me $10. Thank you so much. Brandon says, if you're interested, order some postcards, stamps, and pens. There's districts in Arizona, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Wisconsin that are available for postcards. Hard work is good work. That's right. Activate America, baby. I'm going to do this again tomorrow. Will you be here tomorrow at 7 o'clock? Because I'll be here. Let's do it again, shall we? I think I'm going to live stream every night until the election. If you're down, I'm down. Every night until the election. I think 7 o'clock's the time. And then later on Saturdays. Let's do it again. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all of you. And I will see you tomorrow. I think so. Oh, no, I did that one. Okay. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye. Have a good night, everyone. I'm going to put this link into the description. Okay? I'm saying that out loud so I will not forget. Okay. Bye, everyone.